And hello and welcome to my second episode of Stress to Success Blueprint. Today we'll be talking about funny thing that I just found out when I was writing my book Stress Management for Adult Children of Alcoholics. And I found out such a thing that it blew my mind. Apparently, our brain loves stressing out. I know, isn't this funny? So the way it works, let's say you are getting ready to go to work and you already starting to stressing out because you are afraid that there will be plenty of traffic for you to be on the way, and you might be late to work, and you maybe will run into that supervisor that you really don't like, and they will see it that you were late, and then they will think of you like, oh, you're just lazy, you just woke up and you are always late, and then you think you're not going to be promoted for the next year, and then you think, well, then I'm going to be kind of like late on my mortgage, and then probably your mom not going to like it. Anyway, you probably got the point, right? Because there's always something that can happen that will make it a big, huge deal. But let's just talk about this some other episode. So what I found fascinating is, so what happens when you tell yourself, okay, I'm getting to work and probably it's going to be traffic. And as soon as you sit in the car and you start driving, you might feel like you're starting to stress out. You are angry at other drivers, especially those that cut you off, because, well, they just cut you off and you take it super seriously and super personally. And they are just interfering with your get to work routine. And since you already know that you're going to be stressing out because you did this yesterday and before yesterday and a week and a month ago, you continuously doing this pattern, right? Um, so here's the deal. Why are you doing this pattern? Because it works. Yes, it's very freaky because you see what happens is when you're stressing out. So what happens? Your brain is telling you that you need to fight or flight. Your heart pressure increases. You start thinking all kinds of thoughts. You're preparing already what you're gonna do. You start sweating. All the anxiety symptoms that you probably already went before, and you know what they are. And so then you get to work, and you did not get late, and you did not find that supervisor that was not really friendly with you, and you survived. Overall, you survived, and probably the outcome was even better than you were expecting, but you were still stressing, right? So your brain registers the whole thing as a success because, well, you got to work and you were fine. So next time when you leave your house to get to work, your brain says to itself, you know what, this is great. We're going to do like we always do in order to survive. We're going to use the same methods that we used before, meaning as soon we leave the house, we're going to start stressing. Yes, we're going to pump up the blood. We're going to start sweating. We're going to start thinking some negative thoughts, and we're going to be angry at the drivers because you know why? It works. Uh-huh. When I found that out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Yeah. So this stressing is really necessary for us. The brain thinks that is doing an amazing job to preserving you. And you don't die, right? Like you didn't die, so it must be working. So we're gonna repeat this. But as you know, that's definitely not working for us. Stressing is not a good thing. And if stressing out will be such a occurrence that happens once in blue moon, then it's okay, well, fine. But it doesn't. There's so many stressors in our lives that it looks like, we're stressing way too much about a lot of things. So I'm inviting you now to think about how can you help this? How can you help yourself to stress less? By I will invite you to take a piece of paper and write it down, or on a computer, on your phone, whatever. But just register all of those patterns that you have right now in your life that is stressing you out. Maybe you notice that you get anxious when you see specific coworker. Maybe you get anxious when you go see some friend or parent, or something. Identify situation, identify it, like, okay, I notice that I get already anxious when I'm about to do this and this, and then look at that, what's actually happening, and what are you afraid of going to happen, and then tell your brain that, well, that really doesn't work, stressing out, because we can find other ways not to stress out. So then you have to introduce a new pattern. Then you need to calm yourself next time you start stressing out about the same thing that you're going to do, and then do it calmly or do it a different way, and then continuously doing the same way, just to show your brain that, I was not stressing out, and I was not, getting my heart rate up. I was not sweating. I did something very different, and it still worked. It still delivered me the same result of me being alive. So that's the tip for today. So please leave me a comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe to this video. And if you have questions that has to do with stress management or topics that you want me to talk about it, I'll be very happy to respond. And thank you so much for listening. And for those who are watching me on video, thank you for being here. And I'll see you next time.